guys, it's Brant back again with another video, and I got my good buddy Rick from It's All For You Demon with me.
Hello. Hello.
And yeah, good to have you back. We always have a good time, and I pinged him, talking to him about this, and it was one of the things I thought would really be cool to do. I'd like to get his insight on what he thought about it. So what we're going to be talking about today is Kiss Alive 2. If Kiss Alive 2, which recently, it has an anniversary coming up. It came out in October. So, October 77, so Kiss Alive 2 has an anniversary coming up. If Kiss Alive 2 had been a full live album, and of course you know that they didn't use any songs off the first three albums. They kept all the first three. They didn't want to duplicate any tracks. So they came out with 5 studio tracks. And so what we're going to do is we've talked about it, and we've come up with 5 songs off of these 3 albums, off of Destroyer. Of course, that's Destroyer Resurrected, but it's the same. Rock and Roll Over and Love Gun. So if we'd have picked 5 tracks to come off those 3 albums that would mix that out and make that album a fully live album. And now I tried to, for me personally, and I didn't give Rick any rules, I just said 5 songs. For me personally, I tried to preferably play, put a track on there that they had done live. There are several songs they did live that never made it to Alive 2, just as there's songs on Alive 2 that they didn't play live that made it to Alive 2, like Tomorrow and Tonight. So, guests, Rick, you go first. And so what would your first track be that would be live, and where would you put it?
Okay, so this is a kind of a caveat. I would have, looking at Alive 2, the set list, I would have opened Alive 2 with I Stole Your Love.
Well,
that was my first.
They did open with I Stole Your Love a lot during that time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would have had that be the first song. But my first song would be Mr. Speed.
Okay. So
which I don't think they've ever played live.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Yeah, that was there's a little X next to it because I knew they never really played that live. But Mr. Speed would be my number one choice. And I put it in between Ladies' Room and Making Love.
Okay. So in between, so kind of early. That's a good position to put it. But so your first one is Take Me, and okay, so you're just going by your track. I'm going to go by album. So I started with Destroyer, and I thought a good song that should have been on Kiss Alive 2 off of Destroyer should have been Do You Love Me. I know a lot of people aren't a big fan of that song, but I think Do You Love Me is a good song. It's a song that they could have got the crowd into, and I think it would have been good to be there, and I think it would have been good somewhere later in the show, maybe before or after I Want You. But he kind of uses I Want You to get the crowd into it, so maybe that's not the best place for it to be. But yeah, so I think that Do You Love Me would have really been a good, and they did perform Do You Love Me live. They did perform that live during the 70s and everything. So, but a song that was an honorable mention that I thought it would be cool to hear on here, to hear perform live off of Destroyer, but it's an honorable mention for me, would have been Flaming Youth. I think Flaming Youth would have been very interesting to hear perform live. Yeah, it's never been performed live as far as I know, but I think it'd be very cool to hear perform live.
Yeah, I have Flaming Youth on my list as well.
Okay. All right, so I'm not joining. Okay, so since next one you said Flaming Youth. All right, so that's you. All right, do you have it yet, or is it further down?
It was my third selection.
Okay. So go in whatever you want to do.
So the next track I added was my second choice was Take Me. Mm-hmm. And I put that between Calling Dr. Love and Christine 16.
That'd been a good place for Take Me. That would have been a really good place for Take Me.
Now,
Um,
where would it be
go.
on the Misprints? Isn't it up there pretty high?
Yeah,
Isn't it like the second song?
yeah, it's like the second song. Take Me's a good choice. As a matter of fact, my next album, that'd be the only one I chose off Destroyer because they did so many off of Destroyer already. They already had Beth, God of Thunder, Detroit Rock City, King of the Nighttime World. I mean, Shout It Out Loud. I mean, they already had so many songs off of it. So Destroyer is the one I picked the least off of. I just picked Do You Love Me? So I am with you. My first track that I would have put off of Rock and Roll Over would have been Take Me as well. I think Take Me, they did perform that live. And so I think Take Me would have been great. So you said, so that takes you to track 3.
Yeah, so my third choice was Flaming Youth.
Mm-hmm.
And I had that between Shock Me and Hard Luck Woman.
That would have been a good place for it.
This was really hard because when I look at Rock and Roll Over and Love Gun, there are a ton of tracks from both of those albums, or it feels like those albums are very well represented on Alive 2. And it was harder when I got to rock and Roll Over and Love Gun to pick. And I'm not a huge Destroyer person. I know people love Destroyer. I'm just not hugely into it. And Flaming Youth is probably my all-time favorite song from that record.
I really like Flaming Youth. I think, of course, Detroit Rock City is my favorite song off that album. But I think Destroyer, it would have made more sense to me for Destroyer to have been called Flaming Youth. I mean, I think Flaming Youth would have been a great, because they're on fire. Gene's hair is literally on fire, and they're standing in the middle of a destruction, and everything. So I just thought Flaming Youth would have been a really cool name. So my third track is off of Rock and Roll Over, and that's Mr. Speed. And I love Mr. Speed. Me and you've talked about that before. I hate that it was never performed live. I hate that it's not on this album because it should have been. So so that's good. That's cool. So we've agreed on a few. So what about your? I've got one coming in out of the left field for my fourth track. So I want to hear what yours is.
Okay. My fourth track is my other favorite song from Destroyer, and that's Sweet Pain.
I actually thought about Sweet Pain. Why that song for you?
I think it's just a great song that I think would have fit perfectly into the Alive 2 record. It's just it's kind of dirty, and it's kind of raw, and it's got that great, like, Ladies Room. To me, I do love the song Ladies Room, but I never, like, it's fit on Alive 2's just kind of off to me, and I just think, like, Sweet Pain would have been, like, if you're going to have Flaming Youth, which we've added in our list, if you're going to have Flaming Youth, I think you got to have its counterpart on Destroyer, which I've always felt was Sweet Pain.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's funny. And I was getting ready to say in the back of my mind, it almost sounds like this is one that they should have taken a track away to add. So far, I've not felt like that they should have taken a track away to add anything. But yeah, I agree. If we're going to add Sweet Pain, then they should have maybe taken away Ladies Room.
Ladies Room always struck me as a song that's good for the intro. It's good for Paul to get the audience involved, meet you in the ladies' room. But then, once the song starts, it's kind of like bathroom time almost. I mean, I think it's a great song, and I would have stuck around to hear it, but it's not a powerhouse song.
Right. Okay, so my track 4 comes off of Rock and Roll Over, and I'm just sitting here going, man, all these tracks, and Peter didn't get no love, man. He didn't get a track on the fourth side. So let's give some, if we're going to have all live, if we can't give him Black Diamond, Nothing to Lose, we got to give him something else. So let's give him Baby Driver. I mean, could you imagine that live? That brah, 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 brah. Baby Driver would have kicked ass live. It would have kicked ass live. And I don't know if they ever did Baby Driver live. I know they did Hooligan live. But Baby Driver, man, Baby Driver would have been a great song, and I would have stuck it. I would have stuck it probably before Beth somewhere. You know, this would have shifted everything. It would have extended the stuff that's actually on track 3, on side 3, would have actually been shifted down to side 4, at least in some capacity.
Was that your number? What number was that?
That's my number 4. I've got one left, and it comes off Love Gun.
Okay. So this is my number 5, correct?
Okay. Yep. This would be your
All right.
5. And then if you want to throw in some, if you got others, you can throw in honorable mentions at the end.
No, it's okay. This would have been, I would have taken away Christine 16, and I would have put in Love 'Em, Leave 'Em.
Love 'Em, Leave 'Em. That's a good song. I like the way it starts, that the way it drives. I love that.
I've always loved that guitar solo. That's one of my favorite guitar solos. I love the effects on the end, that kind of fuzz sound.
So my number 5 that I would have added comes off of Love Gun, and I think this would have been a great. Even though we already have a God of Thunder Demonist song on here, screw it, why not have 2? And I would have loved to heard Almost Human live.
Almost Human.
Almost Human would have been awesome live.
I wrestled with that one a lot. I wanted to add it on my list. It didn't make my list, but that was one I kept coming back to.
Yeah, Almost Human would have been so great live because he already sings it in that very demon-esque voice.
And it's such a cool riff too.
Oh yeah, it really is. So there you have it, guys. Like I said, it's that's what we would have added. I really like your list. Our list overlapped a lot, and we had a lot of the same songs, and we had some different songs on there too. So that wasn't planned. That was we didn't know what we were going to put from each other. We hadn't talked ahead of time. So, but you guys, we want to know what you think. The KISS community, KISS Army, KISS fans of my channel, fans of Rick's channel. Communicate down there in the comments. Tell us what 5 songs you would have added. If you want to go all out and give us a track listing, you can go ahead and do that. Me and Rick will be checking. I like when Rick does a video with me. I've seen him jump in and reply to people's comments, and I think that's really cool. I do it on his page too. I do it on his page. We're kind of all over each other's pages, but yeah. So leave that down there. If you've not subscribed to the channel, hit subscribe. Trying to get to 2,000. I think I'm at 1,700 now. And click the notification bell so you get notifications. Have more videos like this coming in the future. Anyway, we're signing off on this one. I am Brant.
I'm Rick.
Rick from In My Head channel, guys. If you haven't seen him, check his channel out. Give him some love. Give him a subscription. Give him a subscribe. Watch his videos. He's got great videos. Anyway, guys, that's all I've got for today. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.